Welcome back to the 815 Sports Podcast. Me and Jake are here with our Week 3 NFL picks after a very sad for some teams and a very great Week 2 for others. With that being said, we're going to kick it off with Thursday Night Football. The Giants at Niners. The Giants were down 21 to nothing against the Arizona Cardinals, who a lot of people thought were the worst team in the NFL this year. They somehow managed to come back in that game. Saquon Barkley did get hurt. He's probably going to be out the next 3 or 4 weeks, which is not good news for Giants fans. With that being said, I'm going to take the Niners. They're playing really good football right now. They're a great team, as everybody knows. They're 2-0. Actually, I'd probably take the -10 for the Niners.
I think they might be the most complete team in the NFL, right? Right?
I agree.
They're probably 1. The Dolphins might be 2.
San Francisco's just got a loaded defense
and then
too.
Dallas might be 3.
Dallas is
and
pretty
Miami,
damn good.
They're a toss-up for 2 and 3. But San Francisco is just too good. The Giants got away with one last week. I don't feel like that momentum continues because I feel like they should have lost versus Arizona. I think Arizona lost that game more than the Giants won.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole game because I was leaving work, but last I turned it on, it was like the 21 to nothing.
Yeah, it was a blowout. And then all of a sudden I looked and I was like, well, I got to turn it on. I think I would even take San Francisco -10. I'd take them to cover and win.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, I agree. The question I got for you is: if you were a Giants fan, obviously you start out 1-1. You really can't be pleased with the way things have gone so far, even though you got the win last week. How upset would you be about the fact that you re-signed Daniel Jones for $40 million a year?
You can't really be upset at a 1-1 start, right? Because you know how good Dallas is, and that you lost to one of the best teams in the league. What you can be upset about is that you lost 40 to nothing and you didn't even play, because there were so many momentum shifts in that game to where like it could have been different. Like if the Giants, if they don't block the field goal the first play of the game and run it back for a touchdown, it's probably 3-0 Giants. But I mean, I just don't know if he's the guy. And now Barkley's out. They're in a world of hurt again. The New York Football Giants.
I just can't really see him moving the ball too well without Barkley.
Well, that's what I thought.
San Francisco.
What I thought so too. And then all of a sudden, I mean, I know Arizona's different than San Francisco, but all of a sudden something clicked and they started moving the ball like they were the best offense in the league. I mean, they were down 21-0 and they ended up scoring like 30-something points in 3 quarters. So that is impressive, but I don't think that continues. This would be probably, if they win, this would be one of the biggest upsets of the year.
And obviously this past weekend there were a lot of games where the teams came back and won, whether it be the Giants, the Falcons, the Commanders. They were down I guess Russell Wilson was cooking in the first half.
Well,
but we'll get to that. But yeah, we both got the Niners in the Thursday night matchup. Up next, we got the Saints at Packers. Packers favored by 2 at home. Lambeau will be rocking. They lost very tough one last week.
By 1
point. They should have won. I would say a lot of that game is on Matt LaFleur. A.J. Dillon can't seem to run without tripping over his own feet. I love A.J. Dillon, but all he had to do was run forward, and he kept tripping over his own feet. It was kind of sad to watch. You see how much he missed Aaron Jones, Christian Watson, Bakhtiari didn't play.
Are any of these guys coming back?
I foresee all of those. I foresee all 3 of those guys playing on Sunday. Bakhtiari, they're not going to come out and say this, but I'd imagine he didn't play because it was playing on turf. Rodgers tore his Achilles last week on turf.
So were these game time decisions, or why are these guys not playing and then they're going to play the next week?
Jones kind of pulled his hammy against the Bears in week 1 after he scored that touchdown. Watson's been dealing with the hamstring thing. I do foresee him playing, like I said. And then Bakhtiari, I personally think he's fine. He just sat out, like I said, because I think it was turf, but they won't come out and say that.
I think this is going to be a better game than most people think, because I think New Orleans is a little bit sneaky.
I think I don't.
They're 2-0.
I understand why Green Bay's favored because they're at home, but I personally think the Saints are a better team just because they're more experienced.
I think they're a better team, but I don't think the better team always wins.
Yeah.
Like I think the Packers might win this game based off of it being at Lambeau. Honestly, they might win just because of they hardly ever lose there, even when they're not that good. So I'm going with the Packers.
Yeah, I think they got a good chance to bounce back this week, and I do think those players will come back, and hopefully they can make some adjustments on defense and offense. But Love missed some throws. He had some guys open, and he made some poor throws as well.
That's going to happen. This is his first full season of playing every game. He's going to have hiccups.
Yeah, growing pains and stuff.
And you just hope that they stop happening more frequently as the season goes on.
Yeah.
But that's going to be expected. And this is his first game at Lambeau.
Yeah.
So the emotions are going to be all over the place. He just got to stay within what he can do.
Not try to be a hero.
It's just if he just plays like he did with the Bears, they'd be 2-0 and they would probably be 3-0.
Yeah.
I looked at the Packers schedule, and if they would have got, if they had got through Atlanta, I mean, their schedule is not hard. It's not that hard. Like this is just hypothetical. If they had Aaron Rodgers, I mean, they might be 6 or 7-0 before they lose the game. But it's obviously it's different. But that's why that loss versus Atlanta sucks. Because
It does suck. I was pissed.
Which the season is so early, and Detroit lost, so it's not like you're a game behind.
But it would have been nice to be 2-0 in a top.
I mean, I think he's got to play. He's got to play under control, and he can't be trying to make plays that aren't there because the crowd's going to probably be hyping and wanting him to do it. He's just got to take the under.
Yeah.
If you're going to go deep, fine, but don't risk it because you fucking seen Tua did it last week twice versus New England, and he got intercepted once and the other one didn't. Where if he'd have just taken the under, they'd have got like 15 yards. I would rather that than hit the deep play if it's not there. And if he does that, I think they will beat the Saints.
I think I agree with Jake, and I also think the defense needs to come out and play a lot better. There's no reason why Desmond Ridder should have looked like the second coming of Cam Newton or somebody in the fourth quarter. It was kind of disgusting. Jair Alexander played not to the level that we're used to. Hopefully he bounces back this week, and hopefully they get the win. But as we said, we both got the Packers in this one.
To me, this might be a field goal game.
I bet it's a close game.
I mean, Vegas, most of the time, Vegas is right.
Yeah.
Or within a couple points. I don't think either team's going to blow each other out. And it could be a game-winning field goal. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
So
it'll be a good game. Up next, we got the Titans and the Browns. Browns fans devastated after their loss against the Steelers last night. Plus, Nick Chubb's done for the year, which extremely hurts their chances of doing too much the rest of the year. And I hate that. It was a gruesome injury. They wouldn't even show the replay.
Who's going to be their backup?
Jerome Ford.
Okay.
And then I think they might re-sign Kareem Hunt. He came in and visited the team today.
I just don't think this is like, I don't think it's worst case scenario. I still think Cleveland is good. I mean, they still have weapons, and Deshaun Watson is still a weapon in himself when he plays.
We've seen him play well before. I think he's still trying to get it.
I think, how about Tennessee winning at home versus the Chargers?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big win.
I did not expect
that. Was a win that keeps their season like.
Are they 1-1?
I think, they're 1-1. So that's a pretty good match. I think this is a pretty fair matchup game, and I'll take Cleveland in the dog pound.
I'm also going to take Cleveland at home, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if the Titans win.
Yeah, the Titans are they're just always like there. Like Tannehill doesn't play bad football. It's hard to stop Derrick Henry. What's his name's a good coach? Is it Vrabel?
Vrabel.
He's a very good coach. They just play fundamental football, and they're always in it. They're not going to wow you, but it's in the fourth quarter, and they're down by 3.
Yeah.
So all the time.
Would you take the Browns -3 or just the Browns to win?
I'd take the Browns to win. I mean, this is going to be another close game. So Yeah, the first 3 games that we've done, I think are going to be close. The Thursday night game, I don't think will be close at all. So
Yeah.
I got Browns.
I got the Browns as well. Up next, we got the 2-0 Falcons against the 1-1 Detroit Lions. Lions lost a heartbreaker, really, on Sunday at home.
In overtime.
I think the Lions win this game, and I think they win by 3 as well.
How often do the Lions lose at home in overtime?
I don't know.
It seems to be a lot. They seem to play a lot of very close games in Detroit at home and lose all the time. So that was a heartbreaker loss.
Because honestly, I'm a Packers fan, but if the Lions succeed this year,
I mean, I think
it wouldn't even bother me.
I think you'd rather
I think
be
they're a
the
likable
Lions.
team.
See, I don't like any fucking team in my division. I don't know why. There ain't one. If I had to choose, it might be the Jets, as it stands right now, because I can't stand the Bills.
Yeah.
Or New England, but I think Atlanta's luck is over, at least for this week. I think the Lions are going to rebound, and I think they win by more than 3. I think this is a game where if you're going to take that jump, this is a game you have to win at home. I don't care about 2-0. It's early. The records really don't matter unless your team's really good. And I don't think the Falcons are really good. I think the Falcons are a solid team, but I don't think they're good. And I think Detroit's going to be it's a tough place to play. They always put up points. So can the Falcons score with them? I don't think so.
I tell you what, though, that Bijan Robinson for the Falcons, he's pretty good. A kid out of Texas they drafted in the first round.
I mean, they're a good team, but.
And then Gibbs, he'll get a lot more touches this week for the Lions because Montgomery will probably be out. We both got the Lions in that one at home. Up next, we got Denver, who lost a heartbreaker. If you're a Denver fan, he completed that Hail Mary, and then they didn't get the 2
Well,
point.
I mean, it's a heartbreaker, but it was like you really didn't. I mean,
you didn't expect that. You didn't expect
it was
the Hail
gonna
Mary.
happen. So, like, that's why it's such a. I don't know. Anyways,
they should have won that game. They were up big.
They were up big, but I don't know. They're down 8 with 5 seconds left. I didn't really watch it, so I don't know. But all I know is they've got Russell Wilson, so they're a formidable team for me. They're a solid opponent.
Well, I just wonder what their excuse is going to be if they're already 0-2, and Sean Payton was saying all this before he came in, to being the Broncos coach. I think to kind of lower expectations, but it'd be pretty embarrassing if they don't. Well, they're not even competitive.
This is going to be so Dolphins. The game's already sold out,
and they lose.
And they're already going with white out. Like it's just going to be so Dolphins to lose. Like I haven't seen social media be so hyped up about a home game. The season ticket holders did not sell their tickets like they normally do to away fans. They're expecting the away crowd to not be as high as it normally is. And I mean, I'm so excited to get to see him play at home. I hope the Dolphins get their stadium back this year, and it's not 60-40 like it most of the time is. And we're white. Just do it. Find something. People are complaining because white's not their color, but it's in their color. The 6.5. Waddle's questionable because he's in concussion protocol. But Mike McDaniel was pissed off that he even entered concussion protocol because he didn't. He seemed fine and he passed everything, so he seems to be coming out of it. I don't know if he can be cleared by Sunday. I don't think this is where he misses anything more than a week. I think it's going to be hard to keep him out of this week. Same with Jalen Phillips. He wanted to go last week versus New England. They said no. So if he wanted to go last weekend, I think Jalen Phillips is more to go than Waddle, which is going to help your defense out tremendously.
Does he play the back end?
Jalen Phillips is a linebacker.
He's a linebacker?
A middle. I don't know if he's middle.
Who's the one guy? Is it Holland that plays safety for the
Holland,
Dolphins?
safety. Obviously, Howard's your cornerback. Van Ginkel's a linebacker.
Chubb.
Bradley Chubb's an edge rusher.
Mm-hmm.
So you get in Jalen. The defense is fucking stacked. I don't know what happened week 1 where they gave up
That happens
30
though.
points.
That happens
The
sometimes.
defense is really stacked. I mean, they have the names on this defense are incredible, and then you just flip it over to offense, and I mean, look at what Raheem how do you
Mostert,
Mostert, whatever. I don't know how to. I just always say Raheem, but I mean that run where he ran it in from 40 yards, he was like a lightning shot out.
He runs like a 4.3.
I mean, he was gone. He wasn't even touched. Like,
didn't he have 2 touchdowns too? That
yeah.
game? Yeah, he's a hell of a player when he's healthy.
I think the Dolphins are going to win. I don't think this is a letdown game because I just think this team's different. But I do think this game could be close just because off of the Dolphins.
2-0 coming into it.
The Dolphins always tend to play down at home when they're favored. It's just a historical thing. But they also play really good at home historically. And they're terrible on the road. So, and like you said, Denver's really going to be pushing to not start 0-3. So you're going to get their everything. It's not like they're 1-1 or 2-0 where if they drop one, sure, whatever. That because I know that, but the Dolphins cannot really afford to drop this game because you've got Buffalo next week.
Yeah.
If you start out 3-0 and lose week 4 at Buffalo, 3-1's great. You've avoided potential disaster. I said 2-2 was at worst, so they've already done that. But this is a game where if you're in the top 5, everybody has them in the top 5. Most of them have them in the top 3 rankings. You beat the Denver Broncos at home.
Yeah.
So
would you take the 6.5?
No.
I do have the Dolphins to win.
A lot of people are saying they'd hammer it, but I wouldn't. I would not touch it. I'd stay away from it. I would. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we both got the Dolphins in that one. Hopefully they pull it out. This is a pick 'em according to ESPN when I looked today.
Yeah,
Chargers, Vikings. They're both 0-2. I didn't expect either of these teams to be 0-2, to be honest with you.
The Chargers.
With that being said, I'm going to take the Chargers. I think now the Vikings are at home, but I think the Chargers have an overall better team. And I think like everybody else, everybody expects the Chargers to be good because we think Herbert's good. They got Mike Williams. They got Keenan Allen. They got Eckler. Eckler didn't play last week, but they got Eckler. They got Derwin James, Nick Bosa, Khalil Mack. I mean, they got They got a hell of a lot of players.
They do. Who needs this win more?
I think they both need it the same, to be honest with you. But if I was going to pick one that needed it more, I'd say the Chargers because they're in a division with I
would think.
Chiefs.
I would think I think Minnesota can afford to go 0-3 and still somehow rebound a little bit. I don't think the Chargers can go 0-3, and I mean they can rebound, but I mean I don't know their schedule, but they've still got to play the Chiefs twice, the Broncos twice, and then who?
The Raiders.
So.
And right now, everybody in the division has at least one loss. Denver's 0-2, and the Raiders are 1-1, and so are the Chiefs.
They still have to play the Chiefs twice. So, I mean, that's essentially 5 losses already. Just looking at it as a bigger picture. If say they lose to the Chiefs, because they're probably not going to be favored in either one of those games versus the Chiefs.
The Chiefs somehow always find a way to win.
And they do always find a way to win. So, I do agree that I think the Chargers need it more. And I think Minnesota has more of a chance if they start out 0-3. But I'm going to take the Vikings at home. I don't know why.
That's a tough place to play.
I don't think it's a smart pick. But I just think that they get the win at home because they need it. I mean, they need it, just, like you said, they need it just as much as the Chargers. And that's a tough place to play. Those fans are nuts. So I'll take the Vikings.
Okay. And I got the Chargers, so we're different on that one. Up next, we got the Patriots at the Jets. The Patriots are favored at 2.5 against the 1-1 Jets.
Are we sure that's right?
That's what ESPN said.
Why
it's early in the week, though.
I know, but
maybe because Zach Wilson's playing.
I guess, but I mean,
I'm taking the Jets though because they're at home.
Jones?
I don't think he's that good, but I'm going to take the Jets because they're at home.
This is another good game. I mean, there's a lot of great games this week. And this is another one of them where I think it should be a pick 'em. But I'm going to take the Jets at home as well. I think they find a way. I think they got a good defense. I think it could be in fact, it's going to be a low-scoring game because New England can't really score that much. I got the Jets.
Yeah, I got the Jets too. While we're talking about the Jets, what do you make of the situation of Rodgers supposedly being able to come back and then make the playoffs? Like a 5-month recovery timetable.
I don't think the Jets are making the playoffs. So I don't think he comes back. Now, if they do make the playoffs, here's the thing. What if the Jets are 12-5?
And Wilson's actually
And
playing
Zach,
decent
I
ball.
mean, what do you do? Like,
You throw out a hobbled Rodgers.
Hey, go fuck yourself. Go ride the bench. Aaron Rodgers is coming in, and I mean, and then if they lose that game in the playoffs, like you can't win as a coach or an organization because there's going to be both ways. Well, we shouldn't have played Rodgers. We should have left Wilson. He played the whole year. Oh, we should have played Rodgers. He has more experience. I don't know. I'm glad I wouldn't be making that decision. I would probably ride with what's worked this season.
Well, yeah.
But that's going to be hard for me to sit down with Aaron Rodgers, who I paid however many much, and say, hey, you're not playing if you're healthy.
I don't think he'd take that very well.
I don't think he would either, but it's only a 1-year deal, so.
No, they restructured. He's there for at least next year too if he doesn't retire.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't think he's.
I
don't know. He's going to be 40 soon. He's
yeah,
going to be 40
he's
by the
going to
time
turn
the
40.
season's
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
So which means he'll be 41 next season playing.
And I was reading that he's actually going to be like on the headset talking to Zach Wilson during the game at the home game.
I think they like each other, and I think Zach Wilson kind of knows like I'm probably the future, but we have a chance to do something special this year. So I think that relationship will be good right now, but
he's got to play fucking better though.
It could
I
be
get
bad.
He's playing the best defense, but he's got to play a lot better.
If you're saying that he might come back, it could get bad because Wilson could get very, pissed off. But yeah, he's got to play better. He's got to play way better. That was a bad game for the Jets. I know they played Dallas.
In Dallas has got the best defense in the league.
But I got the Jets.
Yeah, I've also got the Jets at home. I'd take them plus 2.5 too. Up next, we got the 1-1 Bills favored by 6.5 against the 2-0 Commanders.
I think they're asleep.
The Commanders ain't that bad.
No, they're not that bad, and they're at home. I'm taking Washington.
Bold.
I'm taking them.
I'm taking the Bills.
I watched the Bills struggle versus the Jets, and I watched the Bills struggle in the first quarter versus the Raiders, and then they finally got it going when the Raiders turned the ball over. So if they don't turn the ball over, I have no idea how that game ends up. The Bills probably still win, but I'm taking the Commanders. I'll never remember that, but yeah, the Commanders.
But I got the Bills in that one. I do think Washington's a good team, and honestly, I think they'll probably get a wild card spot.
Yeah, I don't think they're as good as Dallas, but
no. But I think they're going to end up in a wild card spot. And I think that could be a good game. I think it could be a really good game this week.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to. I hope the Commanders fucking take it to them.
Up next, we got the Texans at Jaguars. The Jaguars have been I thought they were going to play a lot better. I know they're 1-1.
I mean, they're 1-1, and they lost to one of the best teams in the league.
I thought their offense was going to be better yet, but it's just not there yet. Maybe they're still getting used to it.
If you watch that game, they had their chances in the red zone, like all the time. Every time Chiefs scored, they'd go back, and they'd be in the red zone. They just didn't convert. They had to kick field goals. I'm taking the Jaguars. I think 9.5 is kind of a lot. I probably would stay away from that spread.
Yeah. I got the Jaguars at home. I agree with Jake. I don't think I'd take the 9.5.
Yeah, that's heavy.
I think they pull this one out. Up next, we got the Colts at Ravens. Richardson went into the concussion protocol last week. I'm not really sure whether or not he's going to play this week. He's probably questionable right now.
Yeah, I don't think this is something that's going to be season-ending. I think he's back in probably week or two. I don't think he plays this week.
Even if he was playing, I'd still take the Ravens. That's who I'm going to take.
Yeah, I think
I'm going to take the Ravens.
Really good this year.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens -8.
I mean, it's unfortunate that the Dolphins have to play Cowboys, Ravens, and Chiefs this year.
I really don't think the Chiefs should be the favorite to win the Super Bowl.
The Chiefs don't scare me like they used to.
And they still got Mahomes, but I don't think they could stop the Dolphins from scoring 30 points.
We play at Eagles, and then we play the Chiefs over across the pond, and then we play at Baltimore. Also play the Cowboys at home. Good God. It's 4 tough games, plus the Bills twice.
Yeah, you got a lot of tough games in your schedule.
You got to go 3-3 versus those 6.
I agree with Jake. The Ravens are playing good ball. Lamar looks pretty good. He's not running as much as he did last year. Obviously, the loss of Dobbins sucks, but they know how to do it in Jacksonville with Gus Edwards and Justice Hill. Baltimore, not Jacksonville. But I'm going to take Baltimore in this one, and I like -8.
Yeah, I like Baltimore. I also like them to cover the -. I think they cover too. Yeah.
Next, we got the 1-1 Seahawks favored by 5.5 at home against the Panthers, who are 0-2 with their young team. I'm going to take the Seahawks in this one. I think Gino and them guys come back and win this week. They did win last week, but they come back and win this week as well.
I think they win.
I don't know. I just think the Panthers are young, and he's still trying to figure it out.
I mean, he didn't look. I feel like they didn't let him do anything last night.
I didn't even watch the game.
I watched. I just feel like they just let it. It was just slow and just take the
basic plays.
Yeah. But I don't think he looked bad. I just don't think they didn't let him loose. I like the Seahawks. I also like the Seahawks I'd hammer that spread. I think 5.5. I mean, that's kind of
2 field goals.
I mean, I think they're 2 field goals better than the Panthers right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the Seahawks in that one. I think they can win that game. Shouldn't be too much of an issue for them. Got the Bears at the Chiefs. I'm just going to come on and say it. The Bears they suck. They're piss poor. The Bears fans are starting to turn on Fields, which that's a quick turnaround because you know how much they loved him going into the season. I would take the Chiefs. I don't know if I'd hammer 12.5, but the Chiefs are going to win this one.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs win. The Chiefs, obviously, I think they win. I don't know if I touch 12.5. I don't know about the Bears. They're just a question mark. They can't put it together. They have one good drive, and they have another drive where they don't even look like an NFL team. And I just don't know why they can't be consistent. Why is there no consistency? Like, you don't have to score every drive, but look like an NFL team. Like, what the fuck was that pick 6 at the 3-yard line?
2 or 3 yard line.
What are you doing?
What, didn't he just try lobbing it over the line?
Well, he got rushed, but when you're at the 2 or 3 yard line, you have to have a play called where it's out.
Yeah.
You can't get sacked.
You can't get the safety.
You have to throw it away. Take grounding. Anything.
You can't take grounding in the end zone as a safety.
Okay, but I think he got.
If he got out of the pocket,
hit at the 1 or. I don't know if it was in the end zone. I think they might have been at the 7 when he dropped back. Was he in the end zone? I'm not sure.
I think he was in the end zone when he threw
it. Okay, so you can't do grounding, but you can throw the ball away.
Yeah.
You cannot throw a pick 6 there. That was, and the thing is the Bears kind of didn't play that bad because they were down 3.
Yeah.
So if they go and score, they win. He could have led a game-winning drive. That's what he needed to do. I know you probably didn't want to see that, but that's what Justin Fields needed to do for Bears fans to be like, okay, this is maybe our guy. Didn't do it. Didn't even come close.
He's played almost 30 NFL games at this point.
I mean, if you don't know he's your guy by now, you can say all you want. It's coaching and all this wishy-washy shit, but
he just doesn't make good reads. I don't know if you've seen it, but he had a guy wide open in the seam. I mean, wide open. You might have been able to make that throw.
I've said it for.
And he did not throw it to him. I think he ended up taking a sack.
Since last year, I said if his first read isn't open, he sucks because he panics and he just runs it or he throws it or he tries to force it. He's got to learn, but that also falls on if his first read is an option and he's already getting hit. He can't look somewhere else.
Yeah, but I don't think he gets the ball out quick enough. You watch Tua, you watch these other guys. We'll just go Tua, Mahomes, Herbert. Even Jordan Love gets it out quicker than Justin Fields.
Justin Fields holds on the ball the longest in the league.
Yeah,
he is the longest quarterback in the league that holds on to the ball. It's not.
And you can't do that. You got to get it out in under.
I seen him take so many sacks. I watched that whole game. I seen him take about 3 sacks that were avoidable. There were a couple that weren't. Get rid of the ball. I mean, sometimes you don't want to take grounding, but
no, I get it.
It's better than throwing an interception trying to force it.
And then talking about the game, leading the game-winning drive. Love had the same opportunity, didn't have any timeouts. 57 seconds, had to go 75. Well, probably 45 yards because it was a field goal. Probably 45 yards, but wasn't able to do it 4 and out. We'll see if they could.
Yeah, that
come
was
back from
unfortunate too.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think Kansas City wins.
I think Kansas City wins.
I would lean towards taking the spread, taking Chiefs to cover, but I wouldn't if I was betting.
I wouldn't feel comfortable taking the Bears plus 12 either. So
no.
Up next, you got the Cowboys who have looked
nuts.
fucking amazing through 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm sure Cowboys fans love it. Stephen A. Smith probably not a fan of it. But Cowboys at Cardinals, I think I would take the Cowboys minus 12, and I think they fucking dominate this Arizona team again.
I would take both Cowboys minus 12.
They're significantly better.
That place is going to be fucking flocked with Cowboy fans. So it's going to be essentially a home game because it was for the Giants almost, and they're all the way fucking across the coast.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas is not across the coast, but it's closer.
Yeah.
But I'd take the Cowboys. I mean, I don't really have much to say about this game. The Cowboys are great. The Cardinals aren't.
That's pretty much all you can say. I don't think there needs to be anything else said.
It's just they're still the Cowboys, though. Like, they always start out good, or they're always like we got to see it all year. Just hope the one game they choke is versus the Dolphins.
Sunday Night Football, Steelers, Raiders.
Another Steelers goddamn primetime game.
Well, they're a pretty storied franchise. They normally get a lot of primetime
they're not.
games.
What's so? Last year when you're picking this, when they're picking this fucking game 6 months ago, what intrigues you with this matchup?
I don't know.
What you tell me on both sides?
I
Derek
guess,
Carr and Pickens. Like what? Why? I mean, I know you're not going to have the Dolphins on back-to-back nights, but there's so many other games. Like, I mean, why not? You could have flexed Buffalo at Washington. That would have been more intriguing than this game, I think.
Yeah. I don't think they can flex games until the latter half of the season.
Well, I just feel like.
But I know what you're saying.
Later, then why not now? But probably right. I just don't think this game is intriguing to me at all.
No, it'll probably be a boring one. Honestly,
it's probably going to be a good game. Both teams
low scoring, I'd imagine.
Both teams are they're kind of alike. I'll take Vegas because they're home, but you know that Vegas is going to be fucking filled with those rally ugly ass fucking what are they called?
I don't know, the towels.
They're called terrible towels.
Yeah,
that place is going to be full with terrible towels. They're one of the best traveling fan bases in America, in all of sports, professional sports. So I don't know that home does matter for Vegas.
I'm taking Pittsburgh.
I'll take Vegas because Raider fans are crazy too. I mean, will they show up? Probably on their sideline a little bit, but everywhere else is going to be orange or yellow.
Well, I think it'll be a lot of black. I mean, both teams, black is one of their primary colors.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of black. Yeah. You'll just see those yellow, terrible towels and those fucking ugly yellow and black jerseys. God.
I think I like Mike Tomlin better than McDaniels. Kenny Pickett hasn't looked spectacular. I blame that a lot on the offensive coordinator, but I just think overall the Steelers actually have a better team than the Raiders. They definitely have a better defense. So I'm going to take the Steelers in this game, and I bet it's close.
Yeah, it's really close, but I'm taking the Raiders. However they say that.
Monday Night Football, we got Eagles -5 at Bucks. I take the Eagles, and I take -5.
I just think this is a sleepy game.
And the Bucks are surprisingly 2-0.
The Bucks played pretty well versus the Bears. I know that the score was led to be a little bit closer, but they kind of had control of it the whole game.
I heard Baker hasn't looked that bad.
I watched that whole game. Baker is taking what's there, and he's got some weapons. I'm taking Philadelphia, but it would not surprise me if Tampa Bay hangs around.
Yeah.
And you never know when you let an NFL team hang around. How good's Tampa Bay been the last couple of years?
Well, they kind of sucked last year, but
But
before that, the prior 2 years,
a lot
they
of
were
those
really
players
good.
are still there.
Yeah.
Besides Brady. But I like Philadelphia. And I almost like the 5.5 or the 5.
I like the 5.
I would take Philly, and I'd probably take in the cover. I just think this can be a better game than most people think.
Yeah. And I personally hope the Bucks win because I like to see Baker succeed. But I do like the Eagles and I like -5. In the last game, we got 2 Monday night games again. So we got Rams at Bengals. Jake and I are not sure. They haven't come to a
It's too
conclusion
early.
on if Burrow's going to play or not. If Burrow plays, I'm going to take the Bengals since they're at home. If Burrow doesn't play, I'm going to take the Rams.
I'm the same. I'm definitely taking Cincinnati if Burrow plays because they have got to win this game. In the AFC conference, if you start out 0-3, you can't. You're essentially making yourself have to win like 3 or 4 in a row.
Well, they're putting themselves in deep shit in the division because the Ravens are probably going to be 3-0 after this week.
So I'm taking Cincinnati in what I would consider a must-win game for them.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So
Personally, I think Burrow probably should have sat out a week or two with that calf.
I think Burrow plays. If it's nothing like awful, like if it's just precaution, I think the organization plays him because they know how big this game is. It's not like concussion. Like it's not like it's something that can fuck with him. It's
his calf, but he probably should have sat out another week or two when the season started.
But I think he plays, and I think they win. And if he plays, they definitely win by 2.5. That's all I got.
The Rams really haven't looked that bad, but
they haven't looked bad. They've
looked better than I thought they were.
Yeah, they played the Niners good for almost the whole entire game.
Would they lose like 30-20 or 27-20?
Yeah, 23-30. They kicked a field goal with like 3 seconds left.
Like you said, they didn't get blown out. But I agree. I'm going to take the Bengals if Burrow plays, but if not, I'll take the Rams.
Yeah, and I even think if Burrow don't play, who's their backup?
I have no idea, Jake.
But anyways, well, we should probably look that up at some point.
Yeah.
I still think it can be a good game even if Burrow don't play because I think the Bengals have got to win this game. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got, too.
Bengals backup QB.
We'll see who their backup is. Jake Browning.
I
don't even know who that is.
So you better be ready.
Yeah. They have a lot of weapons there. We'll see what ends up happening. It should be another good week of football. I hope everybody enjoys it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave your picks in the comments or anything else you think we should touch on, and hopefully
fins up
down the line.
Big game, wear white.
Some guests on.
Cole's gonna be wearing white with me.
Yeah, go Dolphins. Dolphins are my second favorite team. I'm probably going to be in Green Bay this weekend, though.
Oh, man, he told me that. Yeah.
If he really wants to go to the game, I'm not going to be a tight ass, so I'll probably get out my wallet and go to the game.
Well, you guys don't have to, you don't have to buy tickets right down low. Just be there for the atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's around. It's
I think
around.
right now you can get in for under 200.
It's a circle stadium. It's not like it's layered.
Yeah.
Or like you're looking up high. Like
unless you sit in the 700 level.
Yeah, it's really not a terrible seat in the house.
Yeah. My dad wants to sit in the suites, but it's going to be nice out.
It's going to probably be like, what, 65, 70?
Yeah, he just don't want to sit in the bleachers, but yeah.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
That's all we got.
Yeah, that's all we got. Everybody have a good week.